Time is any different. Buffalo's won a lot of these meetings in the regular season. But, Teddy, you've been saying all the time, that doesn't make any difference when we get to this point. So it is Championship Sunday. How is this day different from any other day of the year?
Fellas, I've lost a Super Bowl before. I lost 2 Super Bowls. I've lost in the conference championship round. This one hurts more because all you want as a competitor, a professional football player, as a team, is you want a shot at the title. And that's what you get if you win here. You move on to at least get your shot. All right, at least you're there for there's a bye week. You're celebrated a little. You know, you are considered an AFC/NFC champion. This team that loses the NFC or AFC championship game today, you're just one of those wild card losers. You're one of those regular season teams that don't make the playoffs. It hurts to lose in this round.
Oh, listen to, expert over here who lost 1 championship game. Let me tell you who the expert is. Me. 3 in a row. That's right, 3 in a row. Talk about pain.
Damn.
Like, come on, dude. Like, this is absolutely crazy. You know what you get? Like you say, you get zip. Like, that's it. No, there's no, like, loser's ring or whatever, championship ring. There's no nothing. You're not celebrating. Hey, we're going to a Super Bowl. We ain't doing nothing. 3 times in a row that you're eliminated. You just feel dang empty. You're right. You feel empty. It's absolutely devastating. I will say this about this. This is the last true football game. Because, look, there's no extra half times, all that celebrated. There's no billion people watching commercials and all. It's all about the game. That's what makes this the best. These teams got to earn their way to go into the Super Bowl.
And for that very reason, don't you think there's more pressure on the Bills right now, right? Like, the Chiefs have been there, right? They're going for history. Like you said, 48 states rooting against them, right? The Bills, like, you haven't done it yet. You're right here. You're so close, right? And again, I just wonder if that mounts against them. And then again, on the flip side, like the Chiefs, you've been in this spot, Teddy, like, they've almost become the Yankees, the Patriots, the villains, right? Like everybody rooting against them, everybody picking the Bills. And listen, I know this is egging them on. I know this is egging Patrick on, right? Again, a chance to make history, right? How quickly last year at the Super Bowl celebration did he mention this year?
Yeah,
right?
which
Like
is why.
it was a day later, right? And again, he's already talking about the three-peat and being back here. This is all this kid knows. It's all he lives for.
This is why this is business. This is business for the Chiefs. They're not playing for a championship anymore. They're playing for the championship. The championship that trumps all others. It's a very similar feeling we had when we were trying to go 19-0, I think it was, and then when all of them go undefeated through the Super Bowl. You know at a certain point in time that there are other Super Bowl champions, yes, and you respect them, but it just puts you on another level. And that's what the Chiefs are trying to do. To win 3 in a row, I mean, that's... I'm saying this and these words are coming out my mouth. I mean, to win 3 championships in a row and to be so close, it puts them almost as the team, the organization, the ones that were able to do something that no one was able to do before.
They're doing it in an era where there's a salary cap, where it's designed to not have a team do the types of things that the Chiefs have done. When the Packers did it, there were 16 teams in the league, not 32. They had to win 7 playoff games over 3 years to win 3 consecutive NFL titles. The Chiefs are doing things that nobody else has ever done. So when you're looking at it like this and you're saying, here's what's on the line for the Kansas City Chiefs today, the first team in NFL history to three-peat, that is 100% true. They've morphed into the modern-day version of your franchise and with the Patriots who are always finding a way to win. And on the flip side, just like the Chiefs are trying to become the first team to three-peat, the Buffalo Bills, they're trying to become the first team in their franchise history to win a Super Bowl. So while the stakes are great for the Chiefs, the Bills have never won a Super Bowl. When's the last time they went back to a Super Bowl? So think about everything that's on the line for Buffalo. And they can't get past this team. Josh Allen, 0 for 3 in the postseason against Patrick Mahomes. No quarterback ever has lost to one quarterback in the postseason 4 times. So you're going to be a postseason loser to Patrick Mahomes 4 times while they go for history?
I tell you what, guys. I mean, having coached in Buffalo, and they treated me great, and we were 500. They still treat me great out there. You have, like, maybe you do have some idea what it would mean for that community, but this fan base and all that, there's not one person that lives in Buffalo that's not a Buffalo Bill fan. I'm just telling you. Like, it means everything to them. And they can change it like, no, we're not your little brother. The heck with that. We got the best player on the planet and our quarterback. Like, today's the day. Today's the day, man.
As a head coach, what would a win today mean to that city?
Dude, it'd mean everything. Like, Shefty, it would mean absolutely everything. And I don't know if people realize it. Like, it would put our community, our everything, like, no, we are world champions. Like, I'm just telling you, our champions of this game. Man.
There comes a point in time where certain teams say enough is enough. And that's the whole city of Buffalo, this team, going against, you're seeing the Chiefs you saw the highlights and how they've always been able to overcome. Can they say today, enough is enough, and we move on?
So if there's a sense you get from this conversation, it is what's at stake today? Quite literally, everything. And there is a common theme with the two-star quarterbacks, Mahomes and Allen, and the two quarterbacks from the NFC, Jalen and Jayden. None of them have turned the ball over in this postseason.
Oh, my
in
goodness.
fact, when they say turnovers are the difference in the playoffs, this is the best illustration of that you will ever see. This is the third straight year that the starting quarterbacks in the conference championship, the Final Four, had no turnovers in the playoffs entering that game. There are two constants in this round, Patrick Mahomes and no turnovers. As I showed you earlier, our reporters have you covered on site with all the latest you need from both games today. Let's hear from everybody, starting with Dan Graziano and the Bills. Danny, go.
Greeny, the Bills are feeling very relaxed and confident, but they're also aware of what's being said about them on the outside, and they're not afraid to use it. Defensive lineman Daquan Jones said they didn't like last week's narrative that Baltimore had pushed them around physically in the regular season, and they worked to make sure they proved that wrong. This week, he said the narrative is, yeah, we can beat the Chiefs in the regular season, but they always get us in the playoffs. He said that's what we're using this week to try and prove everybody wrong. Now here's Jeff Darlington, 10 yards to my left.
Thanks, Graz. Listen, I was in the locker room last week after that Texans win with Travis Kelce, and he said about the postseason, it's not like I just flipped some switch and suddenly play better, but it does certainly feel like that. He had 117 yards last week, his best game of the season to date. Patrick Mahomes also noting that every time the moment gets bigger, Kelce just plays better. He is healthier, by the way. Had 2 weeks off before that Texans game and did note he feels a little bit lighter, and certainly that can attribute to getting open more often. Now let's go to Kimberly Martin.
Jeff, these Commanders reflect Dan Quinn's love of physicality, and no mantra reflects his passion more than anybody, anywhere, anytime. And after their final practice before facing the Eagles, Quinn said of his team, there's some good vibrations going on for sure. All year long, I've been talking about championship game preparation. So when we got to this week, it wasn't going to feel different. This, Quinn said, was the best Friday they've had this season. Now, over to Sal Powell with more on those Eagles.
Kimberly, Nick Sirianni was first on the field this morning. You could see him walking the field like he does customarily right before a football game. I caught up with him outside the locker room, and I asked him, what was your message to the team last night? He said, Sal, I kept it simple like I always do. Tough, details, stay together. Now, as for Jalen Hurts, I watched him in practice on Thursday and Friday. No restrictions, but game speed is a lot different from practice speed. He will wear a brace